We started in 1992 kind of as a result of me working as a volunteer with 2 support groups a week. And at the end of those support groups, I was doing about an hour and a half of medical social work and helping people research resources for them or explain resources. We had precious few medications. People were dying frequently, and it was just difficult to understand for people who were newly diagnosed just what their life was going to look like.
I got your note, but we just need to request a letter.
Ryan White Part A money came into the community. We decided to apply for a couple of services, case management being one of them. In September 1992, we received the grant, and we've been going ever since then, starting with 3 case managers, half of me, and a part-time intake volunteer coordinator. Predominantly, we're a case management organization. Medical case management works with people who are newly diagnosed or have lots of complications associated with their HIV disease to make sure that they have access to and that they're visiting their doctor. Non-medical case management is primarily for people who have completed a care plan and working with a case manager and may have an occasional question or issue that's popped up that really requires just a little bit of intervention, answering their question, maybe helping them with a couple of applications, and then they can go back to their self-management, which is our goal for every client. We used to talk in terms of 10 to 12 years when I started, and that's just not the case anymore. So it's a completely different situation than when I started and when Care Direction started.
Yes.
Leave that 6 there for the week.
We educate, right? We test, we link people to treatment. One of the most vulnerable populations are the homeless, and so we really focus on the homeless population so that we can educate them so that they can protect themselves regardless of their housing status. We're an integrated whole health organization, and so we have access to crisis services, we have access to primary care doctors, we have access to therapists. We may want to think about our staff. We also do those who are either in recovery or those who are actively using. You can actually be high, and we will still provide you services. What we're really going to encourage you to do is take that motivation and say, okay, we've got you here as a captured audience. If you're really ready to move forward, then we have these other services that we can get you to come to. You're going to be educated on how these different things really associate and will increase your protective factors, your coping skills, and then we want to make sure that you are still either HIV negative, or if you are HIV positive, are you in treatment?
We do have a training scheduled for December 8th.
I'm Randall Furl, I'm Vice Chair of the Planning Council.
So Randall is this phenomenal man who has been leading our Planning Council, appointed by the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors to oversee the resource allocations and service priorities for federally funded Ryan White services. Does anybody have any further discussion, further edits? You can imagine that all of these differing opinions and differing priorities and differing passions can create a lot of turbulence. From Randall Furrow? Randall did a wonderful job of instilling leadership in everyone, elevating the Planning Council from a community-based activity to a very energized and engaged in what we're doing and why we're doing it, and really put aside personal differences and community differences and come together for people living with HIV and really provide what I think is a Cadillac continuum of care, of medical care and supportive services. So I've watched Randall blossom from this person that might not have taken on a leadership position in the community. Working with stakeholders in the community in a conference room and working with stakeholders in the community over a cocktail and somehow being able to just do wonderful things and get things done for the community.